Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Liliveth Tate channel. Hello, how's everybody in the world today, tonight, afternoon, in your time? So mega love shout out to all my members, to all my new subscribers who subscribed my channel, and to all my premium supporters, viewers, and of course to all my generous super chatters and donators on my PayPal. So hello. So today our discussion is this is weekend live streaming daytime. So the title is living in the Philippines is better than in your country. So for those ones to share your opinions and experience living in the Philippines, feel free, okay? And by the way, guys, I would like to ask if my audio, because I'm using my microphone so that you will hear what I'm talking. Because sometimes when I check my video after the live streaming, there's some words that is not really clear that I pronounce. And before that, mega love shout out to Himalata and of course my favorite Kiss, my favorite supporter. How are you, Kiss? How is the weather there in Antipolo? Is still flooding or yeah? It's Saturday. It's weekend. So I start doing live stream Saturday. So my goodness, time moves so fast because today is September 20 here in the Philippines. So I know in the West is September 19. So here in the Philippines is September 20. So just how many days? 10 days. And then that's the end of September and then October. So October is my upcoming birthday. So I don't want to mention the date, but October, I'm a bear month baby. So how is the audio, guys? I'm using my microphone. I don't really hear that because I'm using microphone. Because this is one thing that I don't understand, especially for the Western people. They say that, this is very common that I hear that living in the Philippines, they feel like a king, not literally like king. Okay. W- In the West, if your lifestyle is just like average, same thing here in the Philippines. Okay. There's nothing, uh, the only thing that it changes your lifestyle when you go to the other country is, the money, the value of your money, especially if you're in the United States. Okay. So as of now, the exchange rate here in the Philippines is 56.75 in $1. So that's the only difference that your money is stretched 56 times than our money. So that's the only difference, okay? Because you can still continue what is your lifestyle in the other, in your country. But the only thing is way more, okay? Because if you're living in like, the apartment worth of like 500, $500. So if you move here in the Philippines, you will get better than the apartment that you're living with right now. Okay. So mega love shout out to Ryan Avery. Hello, Ryan. How are you today, Ryan? So guys, how is my audio? Yes, I know that, actually there's still a lot of Westerners, okay, not only my, even in my people, okay, few Filipino just travel outside Philippines. So you know what, Keys? I'm not really talking about the population or the traveling thing. I'm talking about how does it the experience living, because you're living in the States, right? You can compare because it's been years that you're living here in the Philippines. What's the difference between your country and my country? Okay, how much money you spend for the whole month in the West, and then how much money you spend here in the Philippines. But for me, your answer is depend on your experience, okay? Because you living in two country, okay? So just share your experience or thoughts or ideas about that. But anyway, so that's the thing that like especially for those first timer here in the Philippines, that they really think about that. Okay, guys, this is very common. Okay, some people do video or do filming in my country. They don't really tell the truth. Okay, it's just like they saying that that's what they experience. Okay, like visiting in the Philippines is different than living here. Okay, so you cannot really aware of your monthly expenses. How much is the price of rice per kilo? Because in the West, they said, rice is rice. Oh, no, it's not. Because here in the Philippines, we have so much different type, so much, we have bunch of rice, type of rice here in the Philippines. Okay. It's not the thing that it's rice, that's rice. No, we Filipino, we know how to pick which good rice we can eat. And there is some rice that you cannot barely eat because it's no good. Okay. And guys, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and share my video to others. Okay, let me read about what Keith said. Now, to relocate to another country, that takes a lot of coordination and adjustment. It is not easy to relocate to live in the Philippines. Yes, it's not, especially for those Westerners. You take a lot of time first, to adjust. Is this because, here's the thing that I always say this, of course, traffic. How is your patient for that? Okay, if not, you lose your temper for that. You stuck in the street for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then, of course, the service is here. Don't expect that we have as fast as service as yours. Okay. So you take a lot of patience for that. And then, of course, people. There's some of my people are nice to you. There's some they don't. If you can get out of the comfort zone in life, you will never enjoy Philippines. Yeah, that's the reason why before you come here in the Philippines, to decided to live, you have to visit first. Okay, 1 week, 2 weeks is not enough to adjust or to explore Philippines. If you're pick outside Metro Manila, 1 week, 2 weeks is not enough. You have to take your time, like about 1 month, 2 months, if you really want to plan to stay here in the Philippines, okay? Because you have also to adjust, the environment. You have also to adjust, the people, the locals. It's not the thing that you shown online that, oh, some bloggers, they showed, oh, local people are very friendly. Not all. Okay. Hi, MP. Good morning. Yes, please hit that like button. Okay. So that's one thing that I don't recommend for those, first timer here in the Philippines that, they suddenly decide to leave here without visit the Philippines first. Because, like I said, did I raise my voice? Like I said that, it's different, guys. Just you come here just to visit. It's different that, living here. Because you really know what's going on here. Okay. So it's better, it's because sometimes, when I saw some bloggers that I react, I reacted because they not telling the truth about Philippines. Okay. They say a negative about Philippines. Okay. But, they don't really explain why it happened that. So that sometimes don't really believe what you watch on the video, especially on YouTube, guys. Okay. You will know once you visit Philippines. No other people can give you that question in your mind. The only person that you will answer your question is you. Go visit Philippines or other country that you want to visit. Okay, you will experience, you will, what do you call that? My goodness, I did not eat breakfast. My brain is not really functioned well. You will experience that. Let me drink water first. Okay, so let me read. Ronald, hello, Ronald. Hello, thank you for coming to my show. So that's the thing that and this is, well, I don't want to mention their name because most of they said that living in the Philippines like king. Come on, it's not literally king because as a king, you really refer to a king or queen. Being a king and being a queen is not easy. Okay, like women, like, oh, I think maybe this just like when they have a good life, a peaceful life living in the Philippines, it's just like that's their comparison word, to say it that they're living good like a king, but not literally like a king. Okay. And like like some women, it's not really literally like a queen. Like they have a good life, peaceful life. I think that's it. But some people, they don't understand because they really um take it to the word king, like King Charles, Queen Elizabeth, is not. So a lot of Western people that they're not really aware of that, they really believe. Okay. And then they find a woman online, and then because that's they always hear that when you move to the Philippines, you feel like a king or queen, usually for men, king. And they don't understand that if you're not really good to manage your money, you're gonna end up broke here if you don't do your research before you come here in the Philippines to stay for good. It's okay to visit, but if you're gonna decide to for good, there's take a lot of time, okay? Because there's a lot of people, guys, end up broke. And then they have, guys, because I know in the West that I know that your family is, care for you, but it's not as what Filipino or other Asian countries that they're really into their family. Because I know that most of Western people from the very young age, they used to become independent. So the whatever their decision made is that came from them, not their parents or what. Okay. So you have to be careful to move to the other countries, and especially you selling you all your properties, and be careful to dealing with women. Okay, I'm not talking this is only for Filipina, but you have to be aware women that you're dealing with. Okay, because if you're not good managing your money, you end up broke. And of course, if you cannot really take it that you're broke, you and then some women, once you broke, they leave your behind. They leave you behind. They don't care. Okay, they care for you if you have money to give to them, but once you're broke, they leave you behind. So some Western people, they become mentally ill because they cannot accept to themselves that they made a mistake for that. Okay, and then they end up, there's so many Western people, there's different national, European, American, and Cebu City guys end up begging on the street. And then they end up, their girlfriend or wife, they abandon them because they don't have money. So in that scenario, guys, beware of your decision. Okay. And this is my advice for those first timer in the Philippines. Don't ever decide to yourself that all your properties there in your country, you're gonna sell that because you want to visit Philippines or other countries in Southeast Asia. So visit first. Okay, visit first. If there's a girl that you like, then meet in person, observe first. Okay, don't decide that I want to marry this, because if you don't give yourself a chance to know that person, same thing, the relationship will not work, because her intention is not the same as your intention. Okay, so think many times. All right, because men and women also, we after to find a mate that you can relate until the end of your life. Until the end of yung mamatay ka na ba. It's just like no matter what, it's good to have a mate that, for better for worse, for sickness and health, she's still there or he's still there beside you. Okay, it's not the only thing that she likes you or he likes you because of your wealth. Okay, it's just like same. I'm not really refer for women or men. This is vice versa, guys. Because when you're young, like some men, when a woman is young, they just really in love or what. But once the woman is hit the wall or starts to get older, they starts to change. No, it's not like that. When you really look for the real relationship. Okay. And in fact, oh, let me read this. Ryan Avery, I show my elders respect like your husband, Liliveth. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Ryan. And I do respect you also. I do respect you also because, you know, Not all people has the same, respect that you given to my husband. Okay, some they are very snobby. Some, they think that they know better than my husband. Okay, but as long as it's not below the belt, that's normal in our daily daily lives. Okay, you cannot really please people for go on your side or what, as long as it's not below the belt, then. But if it's below the belt, is another story. So that's one thing, guys, that I really want to clear. Okay, I really want to clear that those for Western people coming here in the Philippines, guys, okay, the best thing that you can do is don't fall for those pretty face, okay? Because especially, you love a nightlife, you love to dealing with a bar girl. I'm not prejudiced those bar girls, okay? But there's a but. Be careful who you're dealing with, because it's their job, guys. It's their job. And sometimes the owner or the manager of that bar, they really teach them how to con the customer. So if you're not really smart enough to understand the nature of that kind of system, you're gonna end up broke. No matter how big money you bring here in the Philippines, you're gonna end up broke. Okay? So beware of that. And don't fall for those YouTubers in your country tell that living or visit Philippines you feel like a king or queen. No, it's not what they mean. So sometimes I'm just why they cannot really tell, why they cannot really tell the truth, okay? So that people will not do on fantasize thing, okay? It's up to them if they want to deal with that. But be honest what you're saying online. And now sometimes I question myself. Is Denzel Washington is dead or still alive? Because there's so much last year, there's so much fake news that there's a video and tells that Denzel Washington is dead. When I look on the, oh my God, he has a movie, and then tell Frank, I'm confused. Is Denzel Washington is still alive or dead? Because of the thing that they shown online is fake news, or they just making manipulate people mind. So if you're easy to manipulate, that's that's a big problem when you come to other country. You Yeah, Ronald. I was so sad when I hear that news when Denzel Washington, because you know what, Denzel Washington is my favorite. I'm crazy about watching his movie Equalizer. I never get tired of watching his movie The Equalizer. All the Equalizer 2 and 3, but my favorite is the 2. But I like the 3. Okay, so that's one thing, guys. That be careful, especially that they using artificial intelligence. You know what? I'm one of person that against about the AI. Okay, artificial intelligence, guys, because a lot of people fall for that. Okay. Oh, think with the big head, not the small head. Correct. Okay. Correct. Yes, Denzel is everyone's favorite actor. He is a good person in his private life. Yes, I like, you know, um, but there's another, there's another actor. Oh, no, 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 the singer, Phil Collins. Okay, I like his personality. I like Phil Collins. So that's my that's my advice, guys, that don't fall for what you watch. Okay, so this is one thing that I'm not contradict, I'm telling the truth, because of course I'm also uh aware of those those people that come here in the Philippines and they end up broke. And I can see that I can see that there's a lot of Westerners, especially, guys, this is things, it happen in Cebu City, not only in Cebu City, some in part of Mindanao. And they end up broke. And there's a lot of Filipino that wants to help them, okay, go back to their countries or go back to you know uh what country they from, but they refuse, guys. They refuse to go back, even though that there's so many Filipino bloggers that wants to help them. They refuse to go back to their country because you know what, there's no place to stay there. Okay, because they decided to sell everything there, so they prepared to stay here in the Philippines. Because even Filipino that they are, but we still care for those, we help. Okay, we're not us too bad, people than compared to the, the States or in the Europe that they don't care. Okay, but some of my people, we do. So I just give credit that some of my people that they have a good heart for real. And sometimes they refuse because nobody take care of them. And I understand that uh situation, because I know that in in the West, that especially if you're grown, you're the one who responsible for your for your safety and for your for your what all that for your security. So but damage is done, so just give advice for those who wants to visit Philippines. All right, so it's important also to know, because not only there's so many places, guys, that okay, for those Western people come to that place, they have a good experience in life because it's according to their personality. Okay, if the person treated them, if they have if they have a good aura, of course people will will uh treat them right. But for those Westerners coming here in the Philippines that there's attitude, what can you expect for my people to treat you good? Okay, so not all people go on that place. Like example, there's some Western people go to Bohol that they have a bad experience with the locals. So don't really believe on that because it's according their personality. Okay, so the way that people treated you is it's according your personality. Okay, so don't act you're better than them, and then you expect that they will treated you like a king. No. No, even though that they are less education, guys, but they have brain to understand. what your personality is. So that's, that's the reason some people or some Western people come here in the Philippines and they don't really get that. Okay, people will treat you or will treated you. It's according your personality, as simple as that. Because some, okay, I'm not saying all guys, huh? Some they just tell to people that, oh, I'm from this country. I'm better than you, so you better nail on me. No, it's no longer that. So it reminds me, guys, of the what do you call it? The Russian American Vitaly. So he's still in Camp Bagong Diwa and the Bureau of Immigration Detention cell. He's still there because he think that he do that to other countries and then he come here to the Philippines and do some kind of action that he made online. So he think because he's a foreigner, nobody will stop him. That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. Okay, where is he now? In the detention cell. Okay. So that's in life. We must be aware of our decision. Don't make your decision without thinking many times. Okay, and especially if, yes, correct, the prank thing put him in jail. Well, because he's too much. He's too much, Frank. Stealing the police mobile is not right. And it's just like, he disrespect the law here, so he has to face the consequence for that. And what else? Well, my conclusion for this is, I think for me, there's no changes when you come here in the Philippines. Oh, well, there's a little changes, like particularly for those black people come here in the Philippines. Okay, as long as you're not violated, the laws here in the Philippines, my authority will not stop you for doing what you're doing. As long as you're doing right, then you're free to do whatever you want to do, okay, here in the Philippines. So the most important thing that our police here will not bother you if you follow the law. That's number one. Okay, they will not, they will, well, some in the states that for black people, whether you do something, they just even you just drive your car, they stop, cops, they stop for and especially if they're not used to look at for those black people that drive on the sports car or what, some they stop and question. But here in the Philippines, no, we don't do that, because we still give a respect for those foreigners living here in the Philippines. Okay, like I said, don't violate the laws here, because, and don't very confident in yourself, because of course some of your neighbors might report you in the immigration or other authority that authorized to arrest you. Okay, don't really confidence that you're never not saying anything, but they observe you. Okay. And then what else? As simple as that, guys. Follow the laws. Don't make any illegal business or any illegal transaction, because the eyes of the laws in your is very hot. Okay, you're monitored, and yeah, you're gonna live a good life here, a peaceful life here in the Philippines. And when it comes to lifestyle, it's according your lifestyle. What your lifestyle in the West, it's still the same here. But the only thing that you wants to pick Philippines for your for living is you save half of your expenses in the West. Because like I said, the money, that's the only big difference, guys, that especially for in the States, your money will stretch. A dollar will stretch for 56 times. Okay. I've been black for 58 years, and I've been stopped by cops for no reason. Yes, correct. So that's one thing that I mentioned, Ronald, that here in the Philippines, as long as you do, like, example, here in the Philippines, that riding a motorcycle is mandatory to wear a full face helmet. That's mandatory, guys. Okay, if you're not if you're not aware of that, the helmet, you will arrested, or you will pay the fine for that. Okay, and then of course you have a record. Okay, because especially for those foreigners, guys, coming, it's easy for them, no matter small, they're gonna look for that, so be aware of that. Okay, and then, because here in the Philippines, in the skyway, guys, or in the highway, there's a certain highway that you are not allowed. Once you ride on the motorcycle in the skyway, only 400 cc they allow you to pass on the skyway. If not, you can't. That's prohibited. Okay, don't do that. And then some highways here that you are not allowed to go on that. If you're drive your bike like 175, 200, no, you're not allowed. Just 400. And there's some streets that you are allowed to ride on your bike 125 to 300, 200, guys. Okay, so don't, if you go on the skyway that you're wearing full face helmet and your bike is 400 cc, nobody stop you there. Okay, because this is all about common sense, self-discipline, guys. Why these people arrested in other countries? Because they don't follow what's the laws there. As simple as that. But in the States, I can tell that, because that's what my husband experienced before we get married. Okay, and they just judge, some, because here's the thing, guys, that once a black people are become, they some black people are rich. They're filthy rich. And those some, they just, oh, where they get that money from, the drugs, or something like that. No, it's not. And then they think that some black people are not educated. They are educated. So once they know that, oh, he's driving Ferrari, Cadillac, Corvette, and some cops, they stop that, and then they question, they ask about personal information about you. But it's just like, well, Frank told me that it happened. Okay, happened that when he was active work at the IRS. and then there's a cop stop him, and then he's shown his credential. And then once they know that he's working, oh, they let him go. But they stop him for nothing. Okay. Because Frank told me that he was driving his Corvette. So they stop him and then ask for his ID. And then Frank shown to his credential. And then, oh, wait. we we made a mistake to stop this person. Okay. Because if they are not good to Frank, Frank will check their tax. Yeah, but here in the Philippines, guys, it doesn't really matter if you're black, white, or other national or other race. As long as you follow the laws, we're not that. Because, there's a main thing that, the government give also safety for those foreigners coming here in the Philippines or visit Philippines, because you guys bring a lot of money to our country, so that it helps also to boost our economy for that. And that's one thing I also that I hope one day that my government and the US government will do have agreement that Filipino can visit in the United States just only their passport. Okay? Because same thing, just a little history, guys. Just a little history. Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. Okay? And Philippines in America are alliance. And now they let before they let Japanese people go to the states without visa, just only their passport. But they know the US government, they know that the Japanese government bombed Pearl Harbor. Okay. But in the Philippines, we fought for Japanese people, and then we're alliance by why they cannot give us to us. Go to the United States for vacation, just using a passport, your passport. They don't do that to us. But American coming here in the Philippines, just this passport, we accept that. But I hope one day that the future president will look at that situation, of course, because right there, there's not right there. I can see that something not right. Okay, something not right. Why we have to go to especially just for vacation, guys? Why we have to go to take a lot of this fee? Fee going to the United States is not a joke, guys. It's a big bunch of money for to have. And sometimes if they don't like you, they will not allow you, no matter how much money you pay for that. So it's better that they have to the same thing. Okay. So that's one thing that I hope one day for the future president or for the next generation, they will talk about that. Because for me, something not right there. Okay. We did not bomb the Pearl Harbor. Why we cannot go to the United States without visa? And why these Japanese people can go to the United States? They bomb the Pearl Harbor. Oh, my goodness. And the end is near. The end is near. So this is one thing, guys, that I advise. This is not only for all over the world, all over the world. Our system, our society is run for fake people. Why I say fake people? Because a lot of us don't really comprehend or understand what's going on in our world. By using this artificial intelligence, by putting fake news online, and then some of people believe on that, 100% believe on that. Why it happens to this? Well, I gonna mention his name. Why it happens to this Charlie Kirk? Okay, I don't want to mention about that, but just why it happens to him. Okay, so that's sad part, guys. That especially for young generation, that even in my country now, we pay a lot. Foreign people coming here, you pay taxes because the food that you buy in the market has a value added tax. You pay the tax. And what those government officials did to us is just like they buy something and for their personal interest and go to the casino, spend this money from the people, pay the tax, and they just put something project, ghost project, and nobody knows that even those Congress, even those senators, they don't know until until the rainy season start and all over Metro Manila I was flooded. That's the sad part. That wait a minute, there's something not right. It need to be changed. So I'm just hoping and praying one day that those officials that people voted and elected, they must have a good a mindset to help people, and of course not only for people and also the country. Imagine, guys, there's a lot of billions of project for the that's, I don't know, for those people watching on news, if you're aware of the flood control project here in the Philippines, billions of pesos. But the majority of that budget came from the pocket of engineers, congressmen, and now those engineers and those contractors that has a project on that flood control project, they talk about, because here's the thing: once they cut for that for that corruption for the budget, and this contractor, they just only they dragging. And then, of course, for those contractor, okay, wait a minute. They know who's benefit those money from the budget of that. And then, okay, wait a minute. Why are you just putting blame on us? Okay, so that's the time that, they started talking about the congressman, the senators. And now, guys, nobody nobody accept or admit that they receive money for those contractors, guys. So that's the sad part, guys, because look, poor people. So if there's no bad on that, we can still use that for our food. But you cannot buy things in the store, okay, because it's part of the laws that you have to pay the tax for that. I'm a taxpayer as well. Okay. So, and then we work hard, we receive a small wage, and then they tax us. And you found out that, this tax that you paid came from the pocket of this crocodile, corrupt officials, corrupt contractors. So, and I watched also in Nepal, guys, that for those corrupt people, they just people what do you call that? people give them punishment. Okay, but here's one of the very controversial contractor. They went to their house and put something, vandalizing their house, their house, and at the same time the office. So that's a sad part. So yes, and I don't understand, guys. Okay, those people that I'm really, I'm so the new secretary of DPW, it's Vince Dizon. I really admire him. Hope he will not change for that. uh and then those people that involved in that corruption, they resign. But it doesn't mean, I hope that once they resign, the controversial, it will not stop right there when they resign, because even the house speaker, Romualdez, Martin Romualdez, he's involved with that, because one of those people also mentioned his name, that he received a bunch of money for that, but he never admitted that. Okay, they all deny. And there's a lot of, so I don't know what's the next issue that they're gonna cover about that, because before that, during the ICC arrested by Duterte was so hot, the issue. And now it covered about the flood project, controversial. So what's next? And I can see, guys, that I never experienced the way back 90s. Okay, 90s. I don't experience, because 90s I already moved here in Metro Manila. 90s I never experienced, but there's a little area in Metro Manila that is flood. But it's no longer that. Imagine, guys, here in my place, okay, there's a SM Sukat. My goodness, guys, the water goes inside. It's almost inside the mall. Okay, and some part of Manila is really flood. It's just like a lake, and especially in Bulacan, guys, in Bulacan. That's a controversial. And the president found out that the materials they use is so substandard. He pick the brick, and he can cross by his hand. So how substandard is that? Hi, Janet. Hello. Thank you for coming. How are you feeling today? So that's the sad part, that uh the people's money. So there's a lot of people go on the street begging, shouting for justice, especially for those poor people, because poor people that are uh number one suffered for that. Okay, not only during the because it's rainy season here in the Philippines. Once it's raining for 3 hours straight, heavy rain, it's flood. So some poor people, their house was it's flooded. So they have to build. Actually, well, some people, they said, "Oh, it's good. There's a flood because there's a lot of people. Other countries will look. Oh, look, poor people in the Philippines. Their houses was flooding, and they have to send money. But you know what? The donation that came from other countries, just a tiny goes to those victims." Okay, it reminds me during the pandemic, guys. Okay, I'm okay in the service of God. I'm good. I'm painting furnitures. My grandkids are here. Number one is autistic, so my flight pull for weekend. Oh yeah. Oh, You know what, Janet? Some people that they don't really but some autistic kids or autistic child very talented, very talented. Oh, good. That the better melon. It's really work for you. So that's the sad part, guys. So it reminds me during the pandemic, because here in the Philippines during the pandemic, President Duterte declared no public transportation. Okay, it's totally. And then, about how many months of that, to the lockdown, the president declared that each family will receive 8,000 pesos. Okay? But it's not 8,000 pesos. How much is that in dollars? 8,000, about 100 $185 per family, but it's not enough, but it helps. It's a big help for those uh, less family that they have 8,000. And you know what? The president declared each family will receive 8,000 pesos or 185 US dollars. And you know what? They received just like 5,000. And some of those ayuda, or the what food pack, they said that there's some uh corned beef or meatloaf, but you know what less people receive? Sardines and noodles. So you can really tell that there's a lot of corruption for that. One grandson, age 9, he's learning cursive now. One teacher beat him up. We were so hurt. Why? Why you? Why the teacher beat him up? Here in the Philippines, guys. When I was in grade school, the teacher are we're allowed. Especially guys. Always clean your nails. All short and clean. It on the desk we do like that. Okay, if our nails is not just like, it's not literally that beating your the students, just with a stick, just to remind that tell your mother cut your nails. But it's no longer that. But that time I never experienced, because my mom always take care of us, always make sure that our teeth is clean, our ears, our nails. But now here in the Philippines also you can't, because some parents are, they, well, I don't really understand that, because teacher is the second mother, but sometimes those teacher, they don't really understand, they don't really give that kind of attention for those students. They take it too personal. If you're a teacher, you have a long patience for your student, especially for those toddlers, or like grade school guys. Okay, if you cannot take your if you cannot keep your temper cool, you're not you're not allowed to become a teacher. Is the teachers white or black? If it's if it's white, I know the reason. So that's the sad part, guys. Okay, corruption. I remember that they said that South Africa, Africa is the poorest country in the world. No, it's not. It's not. Africa has so much minerals that they can able to get. No, because here's the thing that African people pick the wrong leader. Like in Saudi, guys. Look, in Saudi, Saudi is richer than the Africa before. Look, Saudi now, because people they pick the right leader. Okay, um, they pick a good leader, even though that they have a luxurious lifestyle. But they're still take care of the country or the people. That's the big thing, guys. That if we pick the wrong leader in our country, everything is messed up. Saka, what? Shaka Zulu sold Africa out for the England in diverse mining. Yeah, because guys, Africa has so much diamonds. So that's the sad part, guys. That we picked the wrong leader for that. So that's the problem right now, because young generation, guys, they don't really understand the situation. They just believe what they watch. They don't really go back to the history. So for me, we must learn. We must we don't forget the history, because that's what we learn from the history. Yeah. So just like in my country, Janet, after before the World War II, Philippines is one of the top rich country in Southeast Asia, and the poorest country in Southeast Asia was Singapore. But look, Singapore now, one of the expensive country in Southeast Asia, because well, Philippines is very corrupt country, not number one, but corrupt country in Southeast Asia. Look, imagine, there's a contractor builders here, guys, that, it's so funny. She bought a Rolls Royce, about 44 million pesos. And there's the umbrella there. You know what she said? She just bought that Rolls Royce because of the umbrella. Jesus, guys, for 44 million. That's the money that they get from those taxpayers. They corrupt. Also, gold all the time high, and yet there's gold still not mined. That's a sad part of. Okay, so again, guys, because I already reached the 1 hour, and what time is it now? 10 o'clock. I'm not yet eat breakfast, guys. Okay, so I don't know if SNR to renew our SNR membership card, another fee. Don't surprise, guys, if my country name's Philippines, because fee, Fee, Philippines. Okay. Okay, from Janet Lily, you give a realistic view of the Philippines. I see from lives. They are always say that that's life. No, yeah, well, that's what people say, that at the end, that they cannot really tell, that's it's just like that's life. Well, that's life. But for me, no, you cannot really. That's life, because if there's a chance to voice out for that, yes, we can. So it's just like, what people say, that's life. It's just like, okay, you accept that corruption in your country because you said that's life. No. That's the song of Frank Sinatra. That's life. That's what all people say. But anyway, eh, so I already reached the 1 hour time, guys. So I hope that, just 10 days to go. And, my birthday is coming. So I hope that you can, well, I don't know if I can able to do live stream on my birthday because there's no internet connection there in my my the key TV that I rented. So this is for all families. But guys, I would like to invite everyone for those ones to join with me December, guys. To we have a Christmas party here in my place. For those ones to join with me, just let me know, guys. Feel free to contact me on my WhatsApp or my Gmail on my description section on my channel. Feel free, guys. You come here, no fee, everything. Uh, just witness our yearly Christmas party here in my place. All the food I will shoulder that all food. Okay, all you have to do just come here and visit, enjoy our yearly Christmas party in my place. Okay, so for those wants to join and interested, just contact me. So I just, some of those people that I invited, but they are not really available for my birthday. It's okay. But if you have time to join with me in our, well, the Christmas party here in my place, about, we celebrated early second week of December, guys. Okay. Nothing to worry about food. I can shoulder the food. Okay. So just come and visit. All right. So once again, guys, thank you so much for coming and share your opinion. And of course, a mega love shout out to my dear friend Mike. Thank you so much for being so um, generous, so thoughtful. Okay. And for those my subscribers who subscribe on my channel, thank you so much, guys, for still there on me. And for those unsubscribe me, it's okay, guys, nothing to worry about. Okay, I cannot please everyone. Okay, if you subscribe me, then it's okay, no big deal for me. And once again, guys, just uh don't forget, to visit also some other my videos that I uploaded. And if you watch them, don't forget to drop your comment or give me a like, or you can share that video to others. So what can I say? Thank you so much and have a good day to everyone. Bye.